The cinematic world remains in flux thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic, which has caused theaters to close and major releases to either delay their premieres or head straight to video on demand. So topsy-turvy are things right now, that even the Oscars have agreed, for the first time ever, and for this year only, to make VOD debuting films eligible for their annual awards. Yet amid such chaos, stellar offerings continue to make their way to cinephiles, be it via Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu, pay-per-view venues, or high profitable cable outlets. With everyone locked inside, now is an ideal time to catch up on stellar offerings that have already seen the light of day in 2020. Here are 5 movies you need to watch right now. Number 5, Lost Girls. The true story of a mother's search for a missing child, Netflix's Lost Girls is a clear-eyed and moving expose about the many ways in which troubled young women are let down by parents, police, and society at large. Using Robert Kolker's book as her source, director Liz Garbus recounts Mary Gilbert's, Amy Ryan, efforts to find her oldest daughter, Shannon, a prostitute, after she vanished following a house call in a gated Long Island community. At every turn, what Mary discovers is a lack of urgency about, if not outright indifference to, her daughter's disappearance, even after other bodies are found in the very same area. Ryan's powerhouse performance as the fiercely determined Mary is the nucleus of this dispiritingly bleak tale, in which there are few concrete answers to be found, but plenty of blame to pass around.
I'm looking for a missing hooker.
While searching for a missing girl, one of our officers located.
All the other girls' families invited us to a vigil.
No one's talking about our girls, and when they do, it's prostitute, hooker.
Number 4, Bad Education. Using cheery smiles and go-getter glares to conceal profound depths of resentment, ambition, and greed, Hugh Jackman gives the performance of his career as Roseland Long Island Public School Superintendent Dr. Frank Tassone in Bad Education. A dramatic account of the historic embezzlement scandal that engulfed Tassone and his colleagues, most notably Assistant Superintendent Pam Gluckin, Allison Janney. Corey Finley's film, based on Robert Kolker's New York Magazine article, is a ruthlessly efficient and even-keeled affair about the intense pressures of suburban academia.
If you let it be a puff piece.
Come.
What?
Quick.
There's much at stake. We need to know what we're dealing with.
Frank.
After everything we've worked for,
Frank.
to get this far.
Frank. You have nothing to worry about.
Number 3, Sorry We Missed You. The modern gig economy receives a thorough thrashing by Ken Loach's Sorry We Missed You, another somber class-conscious drama from the celebrated British director. Faced with limited professional options, Ricky, Chris Hitchen, gets a job as a delivery driver for a company that doesn't technically hire him. Rather, he's self-employed, meaning the onus for everything falls on his shoulders. That proves to be an arduous state of affairs, given that his wife Abby, Debbie Honeywood, is a home care nurse who works long hours, also for herself. And their son Seb, Reese Stone, is a school-skipping, graffiti-spraying teen who, having seen the incessant back-breaking toil and anxiety that comes from his parents' chosen paths, has opted instead for delinquency. Number 2, Emma. Handsome, clever, and rich is how Emma's tagline describes its matchmaking heroine, Anya Taylor-Joy. But it's also an apt summation of director Autumn D. Wilde's Jane Austen adaptation, which is energized by meticulous style, spirited wit, and passionate emotions. Hewing closely to its source material, the film charts Emma Woodhouse's efforts to find a suitor for her doting companion Harriet Smith, Mia Goth, while struggling with her own blossoming feelings for her sister's brother-in-law, George Knightley, Johnny Flynn. Round and round the romantic entanglements go, not only for these 3 characters, but a host of others that DeWilde and screenwriter Eleanor Catton faithfully delineate in clean, bright brushstrokes. Romanian director Corneliu Porumboiu once again melts his interest in language and genre filmmaking with The Whistlers, a neo-noir about a police officer named Christy, Vlad Ivanov, who travels to the Canary island of La Gomorra to learn an ancient whistling language that doesn't sound anything like a human form of communication. This subterfuge is demanded by Christy's gangster bosses, with whom he's both in league with and tasked with capturing by his law enforcement chief, Magda. Radhika Lazar. Christy's playing both sides predicament is complicated by his relationship with Gilda, Catherine O'Marlin, an alluring beauty whose femme fatale status is underlined by her famous noir name. In Porumboiu fractures his narrative so that chronology, like the various dialects employed by his characters, comes across as intricately coded. That's all the time we have for today's video. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, and subscribe so you never miss out on videos like this one. Thank you for watching, and have a good one, guys.